move yesterday. The Clippers traded Blake Griffin to the Pistons for 3 players, including Tobias Harris and Avery Bradley, and draft picks. Reportedly, talks between the teams started nearly a week ago, even though Griffin signed a 5-year, $171 million deal last July. He's averaging nearly 23 points per game this season. We're joined by former NBA All-Star Kenyon Martin and a former teammate of Blake's. Welcome back, Kenyon.
Yeah.
Good to have you. How surprised were you by the trade?
Very shocked. Like a lot of people were. You know what I'm saying? No, you pay a guy franchise money, franchise player money. You think you're going to ride it out with him. You're going to build around him. All the talks lately have been about DeAndre being moved. You know, but shocking move, especially on Doc's behalf. You know, but maybe they know something we don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
I don't know if I've ever seen anything like this. As you mentioned, Kmart, here's a guy that signed 5 years, $171 million. Not trade him after the season. They traded him during the season in which he signed this mammoth deal.
Yeah.
I guess they had seen enough. Trying to build around him, paying him $35 million a season, and to be the 8th or the 9th seed, possibly be in the luxury tax moving forward to miss the playoffs. Most owners don't have a problem. Now, some have a problem. But a lot of the owners, like, if we're going to contend for a title, I got no problem spending max dollars being in the luxury tax. But for an 8th or 9th seed, with no. I'm not doing that. I don't look at Blake Griffin as a guy that's going to change the fortunes of someone. So what are they going to be, 5th or 6th seed in Detroit? They're not going to challenge Cleveland. They're not going to challenge Boston or Toronto. And so I get why they did it, Skip, because as you mentioned, the arena is not selling out. They needed a big name to try to put some butts in the seats. But Blake, you're like, oh man, we get Blake, we in the money. Now, what guys are like, man, if they can get Blake, they're going to be in the money. They're going to really challenge the Warriors, or they're going to really challenge the Celtics or the Cavs. Said no one ever.
They're going to be in the money because they're going to owe him $35 million,
exactly.
Right?
Well, Skip, it's 4 years. The last year, the 5th year, the player option for $39.1.
Ain't going to take that out. I'm taking it right now. Listen, I'm going to call him right now. So you're going to eat that for 5 years from now.
So I want to take Mr. Martin back to that year that he played with Blake Griffin, 2011, 2012 Clippers. And I want to list the players on this team. Think of this roster, because it was pretty good. You went 40-26. The fate of the team was it beat the Grizzlies in 7 in the first round and got swept by the Spurs in the second round. Okay, but listen to this collection, okay? In order of scoring on this team: Blake Griffin, Chris Paul, Caron Butler, Randy Foye, Mo Williams, DeAndre Jordan, Chauncey Billups, that guy Kenyon Martin, Nick Young, and Eric Bledsoe are on that team. That's a loaded roster. Now, some guys are a little too young, and some guys might be a little too old, you could argue, right? But still, that's a pretty good team, coached by Vinny Del Negro, right?
Or lack thereof.
Or lack thereof. There you go. Touche. Okay, so what Blake led you and scored 20.7 and 10.9 rebounds. So he's your lead guy. Okay, 20 and 10. Definitely. 21 and 10 if you want to round up. What did you see or not see in Blake Griffin, and that was his full year in the league?
What I saw then, I thought he was a young animal then.
Okay.
He was determined. He worked at his game relentlessly, him and DeAndre. But Blake, he was we thought somebody that had a bright future in this league, which he did. Developed a jump shot now. You know, I think that's what he worked at mostly. I'm saying was that jump shot. He was a good kid. He was fun to be around. Good energy. You know, I never saw a problem then. Now maybe different. He's grown up, coming into his own. Maybe he's voicing things a little more. Maybe he's a little tougher to be around. I don't know. I'm saying because I haven't been around, but he's still doing what he needs to do on the court.
So Jerry West took over the Clippers now as the overseer. He obviously didn't see some things in Blake and thought they'd way overpaid for what he is. I've always thought something's missing in him intangibly. Leadership, whatever it is, whatever that thing is, to drive a team to a title. He's never been that guy. Yeah. Okay? Is that, did you?
Yeah, definitely. No, he's not
he ain't the lead dog.
He's not the voice. You know
okay.
what I'm saying? He's going to go out, he's going to play basketball. That's what he does. There's a lot of guys in those locker rooms that's all they do. I'm saying they're there to play basketball. They're not big talkers, but they're going to get the job done. Okay. You know, he was not the guy that's going to bring everybody in if things getting tough and call a team meeting. So that's not him. But he's going to show up. He's going to do his job like he did.
Okay. So Jerry West said once he took over and Doc Rivers had total control of the franchise, and then they gave it mostly to Jerry West. And he said, man, because they just did it, and they wined and dined him and wooed him and big presentation and said, we want you to be a Clipper for life, and hung all these pictures at Staples, and then they did a mock raising of his jersey up into the rafters.
What does Clipper life had a short shelf life? It was 6 months.
Yeah. And Jerry West said, no, that won't work. We're going nowhere slowly with him as our centerpiece. And they were shocked that Detroit wanted to do anything because they couldn't move him to anybody because nobody wanted that contract except the Pistons, who have a new arena downtown that they can't fill. So now they have a marquee value guy. But to your point, I think they'll go nowhere slowly. They just have a drawing card. That's basically what they have. And the Clippers got back Tobias Harris, who's a nice, he's just a decent player. I like him.
Yeah.
But do you love him? No, you don't love him, but he's a decent piece. He's only 25, and I think he's only making like 16 million.
Yeah.
So you can swallow that. And
Avery Bradley.
He hasn't been good in Detroit, but I do think he can defend at a high level.
He played for Doc.
Yeah.
Played for Doc in Boston.
Okay. He played for Doc in Boston. Good point. So you get a first and a second. Now you got 2 firsts this year, and they open up a slot, and Jerry West will make a pitch to LeBron James.
And he might have another first round because they looking to move DeAndre, they're looking to move Lou Williams. But here's the thing: why is it that everybody perceives Blake as being soft? Because guys will challenge him when they won't challenge some of the other bigs.
Because some of the fouls and some of the things that people have said to him during the course of games, there's been no reaction to.
Right.
So when you let people talk to you a certain way or foul you a certain way, then people look at you like they can do whatever. They look at you as soft.
Right.
There was an instance when we were playing New Orleans, the kid Jason Smith took Blake out.
Right.
Listen, got kicked out of the game and went off the court doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so you should.
I would have ran after him.
But you,
if that's me, I'm chasing him down.
But he wouldn't have fouled you like that.
Exactly to start it But if he had taken it that far, I'm gonna run after him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not finna knock, and I'm laying on the ground potentially hurt.
And you pumping up the crowd.
Nah, it ain't gonna work.
But you know what happened? What's going on? What's going on, Joy Taylor? Tell the people at home what's going on.
No, you tell the people at home what's going on.
Who is he dating, Skip? Kardashian.
I knew he was coming.
Hey, look at James Harden. James Harden been the second, but the best 2 guard in the NBA.
Just call him a spade a spade.
I'm telling you, we get DeAndre Jordan. I don't care what you got to give up. Give LeBron, give him your house.
Okay. So this is interesting to me because I'm a University of Oklahoma fan, both football and basketball. So I watched every game Blake Griffin played at Oklahoma. He stayed for 2 years. He didn't come out after the first year. And he had his older brother as his protector on that team. But the Big 12 book on him in college was just rough him up. And he'll shrink because he's 6'10", and he'd start playing smaller and smaller because you could go at him hard and he would not respond.
Well, against Memphis, that series, they got DeAndre and Blake, and they got myself and Reggie Evans.
Okay.
So the game getting tough. Vinny getting ready to sub. Chauncey being the guy he is, tell Vinny, listen, if you're trying to win this series in this game, you'll leave Kenyon and Reggie in the game. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what it is. You know what you're going to get. I'm saying, because the way Zebo looked at Blake at the time.
Was that when he was at the foul line and grabbed the package right next to it?
That
was that. I forgot about that.
How you come on?
Like, hey, man, there's certain guys they know they can get away with it, man.
And so he put Blake, then he put Blake back.
No, he didn't.
Oh, he didn't?
No, he rolled with me and Reggie, and we won the series. So that was game 7.
Okay.
So, no, it just seems things like that.
Then what happened against the Spurs?
It was a better team. Spurs were a better team.
They were better.
Better coach.
Yeah.
I'm saying that's what it is.
Way better coach.
Way better coach. You know what I'm saying?
But that's I've never seen anything like this, Skip. I don't know if you've covered it and you've been around free agents to get this kind of money, and basically 3-4 months into the deal, you're just like, no, we've seen enough. After you what you mentioned, Skip, after all the song and dance, what you did to get it,
they did a number, man.
Yes,
it was a big presentation, and Steve Ballmer was the driving force.
Yeah, with cheerleaders and everybody pom poms and pyrotechnics going off in it. But I told you.
It's deeper than what we all know.
Okay, but
it has to be.
Jerry West was
to be
not in
something.
charge at that point.
Right.
Doc was in charge. He had both he was coach and the GM.
Yeah.
Then he got the GM taken away from him, and Jerry West said, "We got to get out from under." And again, Jerry West is the guy I don't bet against.
No.
He drafted Kobe Bryant, and he lured Shaquille O'Neal out of Orlando to Los Angeles, and that worked out pretty well. And he hired Phil Jackson to coach him, and that turned out pretty well. He went to Memphis and turned that whole franchise around. He went to Golden State, and behind the scenes, he was a driving force of building this dynasty in Golden State. And now Ballmer hired him to rebuild.
Give us
the Clippers.
DeAndre Jordan and Lou Williams. For Tristan Thompson.
He is nobody's fool. You want him to act the fool.
What's the deal what's the deal we can make?
Yeah, they're gonna have to give up. I think they give up Tristan. I give up Kevin Love as well.
No.
I would.
No. We need Kevin Love. No. What about we give him Isaiah? TT, IT, and Shump.
I'm with that.
There you go. See, we got a deal. Call me up, Jerry. I got this for you.
You got a Brooklyn first-round pick, and that is the linchpin.
They're starting over.
We'll give you Cleveland. We'll give you our first-round pick.
Plus, Tristan doesn't solve the Kardashian problem.
Yeah, they definitely got to give up a first round. They got to give up.
Yeah, we'll give my first round pick.
No, that ain't gonna work. They got to give up that Brooklyn pick.
Yeah.
No.
You know what that's gonna be?
Well, no, we got to get what's
That's
no,
top
no.
5.
LeBron's leaving.
Yeah.
Why?
We're trying to win a championship. If we win a championship this year, we'll stay.
Well, it's catch-23, right? It's just like you can't do it because Dan Gilbert's got to protect himself when you.
Well, I got to protect myself.
Oh, okay.
Me and Braun, we got to protect ourselves with Rich Paul. We got to protect ourselves.
LeVar Ball went after Steve Kerr yesterday, and we'll discuss that next.